फर्जंदे ज़हरा ये हालात बुरे हैं।
काशाना-ए-बसीरत एक ऐसा मुकम्मल यूट्यूब चैनल जिस पर महरूम बसारत के लिए बिलखुसूस और तमाम अफराद के लिए बिलमूम सैकड़ों की तादाद में इस्लामी कुतुब दस्तयाब हैं। लिहाजा गुजारिश है कि आप अपनी जिम्मेदारी निभाते हुए काशाना-ए-बसीरत को सब्सक्राइब करने के साथ साथ बेल आइकॉन को प्रेस कीजिए ताकि आप इल्म के हुसूल के साथ साथ मजहब अहले बैत की इशाअत में भी अहम किरदार अदा करते रहें। काशाना-ए-बसीरत
फर्जंदे ज़हरा ये हालात बुरे हैं।
Part number 20. Below her said, I am a physician. I know that you have a weak eyesight, and I fear that if you glance at the medicine, you may lose your remaining sight. However, the prince has good eyesight, and he is also young in age, so there is no risk if he looks at it. If he sees it, it would prove beneficial for him. On hearing this, the man went to the prince and mentioned what Below her had said. The prince realized that it would be good to meet this person. So he said, bring him tonight itself, but keep it a secret, as such a man is not caused disrespect. The prince aside informed Below her of the appointment. He took a basket containing books. The aide asked, what is there in the basket? Below her said, medicine. Now, if you like, you may take me to the prince. So they set out to meet the prince. When they arrived, the prince greeted Below her, prayed for him, and welcomed him in the best manner. After that, the aide went away. The Hakim sat down with the prince and asked him first of all, O prince, I feel that you have accorded more respect to me than your servants and the noble of your country. The prince said, it is due to that great hope that I repose in you. Below her said, you have done like the king of a country who was well known for his good deeds, and people had good hopes in him. One day he was in excursion with his army when he saw two poor men in tattered clothes. They seemed helpless and deprived. The king alighted, greeted them, and shook hands. His ministers felt very bad on seeing this, so they came to his brother, who had influence upon him, and said, the king has disgraced himself and the people of the country. He got down to meet two lowly men, so you must scold him so that he doesn't repeat it again, and also ask him why he acted in this manner. The brother did that and replied. The king said something which did not reveal whether the king was angry or he had accepted the critique. The brother returned home after that. After some days, the king ordered the announcer of death to go the door of his brother and announce his death. And this was the method the king followed when he intended to eliminate anyone. When they heard the news, there was wailing in the brother's house, and he himself rushed out dressed in clothes of death to the royal residence, wailing and tearing at his hair. When the king came to know this, he summoned him. On entering the court, the brother threw himself down and began to cry of perdition and plead for mercy. The king said, come here, you are crying because the caller had conveyed the message of the creature and not the creator, and I am your brother. You know that you have not done anything for which I may kill you, but condemn me of what I do in the land, while I can see the collar of Lord, and I more aware of my sins than you. So go back, as I have understood that the ministers have fooled you, and they will also realize their folly soon. After the king ordered them to make 4 wooden cascades, tar was applied to 2 of the cascades and filled them with gold, rubies, and emeralds. The other 2 cascades were gilded with gold sheets but filled with blood and Karen. Then he summoned the Wazirs who had blamed him for according respect to the 2 poor men and asked them which of these caskets are made more valuable. They said, as far as we can see, and on the basis of what we know, the 2 caskets covered with gold are more valuable, while the caskets covered with tar are worthless. The king said, so this is your knowledge about things and the reality of your opinions. Then he ordered his men to open the tarred caskets, and soon the court was filled with the brilliance of the jewels. The king said, the smile of these caskets is like that of those two who are apparently poor but endowed with knowledge, wisdom, and all the good qualities which are more precious than these jewels. Then he ordered them to open the golden caskets. The people recoiled in horror. The terrible scene made them and they were tortured by dirty stench. The king said, the smile of these caciques is like those who are outwardly dressed in good clothes, but they have arrogance inside. They have blindness, lies, oppression, and all kinds of evils which are more horrid than Karen and more detestable. The people said, we have understood what you intend to say, and we have gained lesson from this. Lahar said, O prince, you are meeting me and according honor to me is so similar to that. Prince Yusasif stood up and said, narrate to me some more edifying incidents. The Hakim said, every farmer sows the seeds. Some grains fall at the edges of the field, some falls on stones and dry up ultimately. Some fall in thorny bushes and are unable to take root. Some fall in on a clean earth and grow up properly. O prince, except for these, all seeds are wasted. In the same way, good counsels are effective only on clean consciousness. The prince said, Hakim, your discourse has given me a tranquility that I cannot describe. Please give me an example through which the love of the world can be said to be a fraud. Bilahar said, it is said that an excited elephant pursued a man who fled in horror. The elephant followed him. On the way, there was a well, and a tree grew at its edge. The man caught hold of its branch and dangled from it. Then he saw four serpents at the root of this tree. Below, he saw a python with its mouth open. He also saw white and black rats gallowing at the branch. He saw honey applied on the branches of the tree. This man began to lick the honey, completely oblivious of the approaching dangers. O Prince, the world is like a well full of calamities and evils, and the branch signifies the life of man. The rat stands for day and night that hasten death. The four serpents stand for the four humors that are killing poison, that is blood, phalgum, yellow bile, and black bile, and its owner does not know when they may become excited. The open mouthed python below is death, which is waiting for him. Honey stands for deception, that the one who is proud is fooled by worldly pleasures, fame, bounties, wealth, and good food and aromatics. The prince said, it is a strange smile, but nevertheless very much true. Please tell me more about the world, the man of the world, one who is proud of it and gains from it. Har said, it is said that a man had three friends. He loved one of them very much, and through him he used to dominate the most terrible and frightening things. That is why he had become proud. Day and night he used to fulfill his needs. He loved the second friend also, but somewhat lesser. He obeyed his friend and behaved with him kindly and never became careless about him. However, the third friend was a tyrant and a degraded man. He did not like this friend. He was also poor. Finally, a time came upon this man when he needed all the three. The royal police came to take him to the king. So he went to the first friend and said, you are aware of my loyalty towards you and that I had surrendered myself to you. Now, today, I am in need of you. What can you do for me? He replied, I am not your friend. I have other friends with whom I am busy after you. Today they are better than you, but I can give you clothes that you may need. Then he went to the second friend, who was very kind and loving, and said, you are aware of my love and kindness towards you, and how much I endured to make you happy. Now today I am in need of you. What can you do for me? He replied, my conscience tell me that I should forget you and what you did. So you must rely only on yourself. You should know that the relationship between us stands broken because our ways are diverse. I can walk with you few steps, but it will not be of any use to you. Then I will head for that which is more important than you. He turned in despair and went to the third friend, whom he previously considered lowly, never listened to his advice, and never paid any attention to him and his bad times. He said to him, I am ashamed before you, but need has brought me there. What can you do for me? He replied, I am equality and brotherhood for you, and the responsibility to protect you, even though there was some carelessness on your part. Good news for you. May your eyes become cool with happiness. I will offer you a company that shall neither harm you nor entrust you to someone else. Thus, I will not make you ashamed of for that little good that you have done to me. Belohar said the first friend was wealth, the second was children, and the third was good deed. The prince said, indeed, this is manifest truth. Tell me something more about the world, pride in it, and one who becomes proud upon it, and one who is satisfied with it. Belohar said the people of a city used to appoint any poor man that happened to arrive there as their ruler for a year. This stupid man used to rule them, thinking that it would go on forever. But at the end of the year, they used to turn him out of the territory empty handed. So he used to fall in troubles and deprivation and could not even tell anyone what had befallen him. As a result of all this, he used to be completely broken. Once those people caught hold of a man and appointed him as their ruler. The man found himself in a line at that place. He also did not have any friend here. When he learned about the custom of these people, he called a man with his native place and informed him about the strange custom of these people. He also showed him the wealth that was at his disposal at that time and instructed him to transfer it little by little to another place where the deposed king would have to move one day, so that when he is forced to go there, he would find the wealth he had sent ahead of himself. Now, please explain to me the matter of the hereafter in detail. But as for the world, I swear by my life, I have testified it and I saw all that from the world that guides me on its annihilation and which makes me inclined not have any attachment to it. The world has always been a worthless thing for me. Har said, O Prince, doubtlessly renunciation of the world is the key to the hereafter, and one who yearned for the hereafter reached to its door and entered its limits. Why should you not renounce this world as the Almighty Allah has endowed you with the reason? And you saw that even though the worldly people are more in number, they shall be seen in that time. Same temporal bodies, the physical bodies are not imperishable. And bodies are also necessary for them that melt in its heat and freeze in its cold, and its wind hits like poisonous spears, its water drowns, its sun scorches, and its wind makes them fall sick. The beasts of the world tear them up and devour them, and the birds peck at them. Iron cut it down, and the headache breaks it up completely. Thus, from the aspect of essence, it is a compound of various diseases, pains, and maladies, and it is always involved in them. He experienced discomfort in it and is not even interesting in escaping from the world. There is a involved in seven such calamities that it is impossible to escape from them. They are hunger, thirst, heat, cold, pain, fear, and death. Regarding what you have asked about the hereafter, I hope you will find near what you think is far, and find easy what you feel is difficult, and find more what you think is less. The prince said, O Hakim, you have seen the community that my father burnt alive and kept us away from them. Bilahar said, Yes. The prince said, I have received information that the people had unified on his enmity and used to narrate his defects. Bilahar said it was so. The prince asked, Why is it like that? Bilahar replied, But your statement with regard to their defects, they almost said that one who tells the truth does not lie. And he knows and it's ignorant, and he stops and does not give trouble. He recites the ritual prayer and does not sleep. He fasts and does not break the fast. When he is in trouble, he remains patient. When he contemplates, he gains lesson from it. He does not care for the wealth of the wealthy, and people do not fear him with regard to their wealth and family members. The prince said, How did the people gather upon this enmity while there was conflict among themselves? Belohar said, It is like the case of the dogs that gather on the rotten corpse and tear it apart with their fangs, while at the same time barking upon each other. They are of different kinds and color, but they immediately pounce on this dead body. Meanwhile, a man arrives there. They forget each other and turn towards this man and start barking on him because they are scared of him, even though he does not want any part in the decayed dead body. Neither he wants to have any confrontation with them, but since he is a stranger, they are terrified of him and they forget each other, even though before his arrival they were fearful of each other. Belohar said, the rotten corpse is like the worldly wealth, and the dogs are equivalent to those men who resort to killing and plunder for the sake of this world. And the example of the man who comes to dogs is like that of the religious man who has renounced the world. Thus, he does not fight the people of the world regarding it and does not mind if they are inimical to him because he is a stranger. Therefore, if you are surprised, you must be surprised on human beings, as their aim is only the worldly things, more wealth, pride, dominance, etc. So much so that when they see someone renouncing the world, they are angry at him in comparison to the one who is clutching it. So, Prince, what is the proof which can work by the union of two things on one who is immune from all arguments? The prince asked the prince asked him to explain in detail. Below said, without any doubt, when a kind doctor sees a body subjected to destruction by corrupted humor, he intends to make it strong. Thus, he does not prescribe in his diet food based on flesh and blood, and that which strengthen him because he knows that when this food enters the corrupted humors, it will harm the body. It would weaken the body instead of strengthening it. The doctor prescribes for him medicines as well as diet to cure his condition. Once the poisonous substance are removed from the body, he would start giving him nutritious food. Now the patient will have more appetite and he will now gain weight in a natural way and also become stronger. The prince said, O Hakim, tell me what is achieved through eating and drinking. The Hakim replied, it is well known among the people that a great king used to rule over a big country. He possessed a huge army and exceeding wealth. He started a battle with another king so that he may annex his territory and increase his wealth by adding to it the wealth of that king. Thus he took his armies, weapons, ladies, children, and treasures and set out to fight. When the confrontation took place, he was badly defeated and had to flee with his women and children. In the evening, they reached the banks of a river. They tied up the mouths of their beasts so that their neighing may not reveal their location to the enemy. They spent the night at the bank of the river and continued to hear the enemies go here and there on their horses. Neither could they reach open land nor cross the river. It was impossible to leave that place. They were surrounded by the They were troubled by the cold and they were very frightened. Hunger had made them weak and they had neither food nor rations, etc. of hunger. 2 days passed in this condition. The one of his sons died, and they had to throw his body into the river. The next day, he said to his wife, all of us are going to die in a short time. In my opinion, we should slaughter one of our children to feed ourselves. 2 days passed in this condition. The one of his son died, and they had to throw his body into the river. The next day, he said to his wife, all of us are going to die. In my opinion, we should slaughter one of our children to feed ourselves till the time Allah away for delay in this matter, we shall all perish one by one. There is no other option. His wife supported him in this, slaughtered one of the children, and they fed on the flesh. So, Prince, what is your opinion about this helpless? What is the difference between these who are compelled to do this and the dogs that devour Karen? The prince said that eat lesser are better. The Hakim said, O Prince, my eating and drinking in the world is like this only, as I eat and drink under compulsion. The Prince said, O Hakim, that towards which you invite me, is it something that is according to the intellect of the people in their view? They have renounced the world and accepted it. Or it was that Allah called them towards it and they accepted. More interesting is the fact that it is decreed by the people and by their opinion, and if this matter is from the side of the people, they have invited towards its work, its embellishment, its protection, and its gifts, its bounties, its pleasure, its pastimes, and its joys. But this is a strange matter. And it is a manifest invitation from Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, and it is the straight path which is against the acts of the people of the world. It points out their defects, it criticizes them, it changes their joys, it invites them to the worship of their Lord, and it is clear for the one who takes lesson from it and those who are useless. If this matter is concealed from them, so much so that Allah will reveal the truth after its occultation and exalt the world about which the evil people are ignorant. The prince said, you have said the truth. Then the Hakim said, there are some among the people who contemplate before the arrival of the prophets. Thus they are on the right path. There are some who are invited by the prophets and the hearken to their call. You, O Prince, is one who has contemplated on the basis of your intellect, therefore you are also on the right paths. The prince said, do you know anyone else other than you who also invites people to renounce the world? The Hakim said, no. In this country, however, there is a community among all the communities that verbally claims to profess religion but does not fulfill its rites. Ours and their ways are different. The prince said, how is that? Do you truly consider yourself better than them? And without any doubt, this strange matter has reached you from the same source that has supplied to them also. The Hakim said, all the truth is from Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, and indeed Allah, the Mighty and the High, has invited His servants to Himself. Thus, the people accepted it as truth subject to certain conditions. Still, it was returned to those who were qualified for it as was commanded. Neither they committed injustice nor any mistake, and they did not waste it, while others accepted it in such a way that they neither rose up for its truth and conditions nor returned it to one who deserved it. Neither they had determination nor their actions was hidden a secret. Thus they wasted it and considered it a burden. Hence the one who has wasted is not like one who protects, neither one who retracts is like the reformer, neither is the patient like one who is impatient. Thus, in comparison to them, we are closer to the truth and we are better than them. And some communities are such that they followed the religion of the prophets after he had passed away. For sometimes they did not make any changes in it. After that, people fell into various accidents and began following the selfish desires and continued to waste knowledge. Thus, the reliable scholar used to conceal his identity and did not really reveal his knowledge. People knew his name but not his location. Only those remained with them who were insincere among the learned, and they continued to dominate the ignorant people. They were making knowledge anonymous and openly expressed ignorance. Centuries passed, but they did not realize their ignorance and falsehood. The ignorant were dominant and in majority. The learned were in hiding and in few numbers. They had changed the divine signs and given up the aim to tread its path. Along with this, they confessed of its decline and followed their interpretations. They were according to its quality and were of those who left its reality. They were against its laws. Thus, prophets of every quality arrived who invited towards it. Thus, in its quality, we were in agreement with them, and we were in opposition of the law of those prophets and their manners, and we did not oppose them in any matter till we did not have a manifest evidence or argument based on information contained in the present divine scriptures. Each of them prophets spoke some words of wisdom, and he became a witness for us and witness between us that our quality, appearance, and command is in agreement with them, and he also used to testify that he is an opponent of their practice and their deeds. So they did not know the book except its introduction, and neither were they familiar with the name of religion. In fact, they were not from the people of the book that they may rise up on its basis. The prince asked, what is the condition of the messengers and the prophets that arrived from one period to another? The Hakim said, its example is that of a king whose lands are barren and where there is no habitation. Thus, when he decided to populate these places, he sent a strong, honest reformer to that country. Then he ordered him to inhabit that place and plant various kinds of trees and irrigate different types of farmlands. He made it a country filled with various hues of crops and became famous because of myriad kinds of agricultural lands. Then he ordered that strong, honest reformer not have enmity with the nation and must not do anything in it that its chief has not ordered. And he ordered him to make a canal through it and construct the boundary walls so that it may not be destroyed by any mischief or a maker. Thus, the messenger who was disputed to this place, in spite of the fact that it was barren land, he gave it a new life and changed its desolation into habitation. He irrigated it and cultivated different kinds of crops that he was ordered. Then he transported water to this place to irrigate the farms and grow crops. Then he stayed there for some time. Finally, the one who had developed this land met his death. After him, his successors arrived. They acted in contravention of all that he had established, and they gained more dominance. They destroyed the population, made the stream dry up, and all the freshness was changed into dryness, and the crops were wiped out. When, after the death of the messenger of the people destroyed the place, the king sent another caretaker so that he may look after its upkeep, bringing it back to its previous condition and work for reform. In this way, divine prophets and messengers were sent by Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, one after the other to correct the affairs of the people and to reform them. The prince said, are the prophets and messengers specialized in such a way that whatever they bring is for the common people? Bilahar said, certainly, when the prophets and messengers arrive, they invite the people. Thus, those who obey them are included with them, and those who do not obey them are excluded. And the earth has never been devoid of a divine prophet, messenger, or their successor who is obedient. Its example is like that of Qudam, a bird that lives at the seashore. It lays many eggs and desires to have a large number of chicks, but a time comes when he becomes completely helpless as he compelled to shift to another place. Fearing that his eggs will spoil due to neglect, he places each of them in nests of different birds. So the different birds warm this egg along with their own eggs, and its chick also hatches with their chicks. After some time, the chick of Qudam become friendly with the chicks of the other birds, and when Qudam returns to this place, he goes to the nest of the other birds at night and hears the sound of its chicks as well as of the chicks of the other birds. When his chick hears its sound, it begins to talk, as do the chicks of other birds also, although it is not necessary that the chick of Qudam should hearken to its call, as it is now attached to the chicks of the other bird. In the same way, when the prophets call the people to religion, those endowed with wisdom and recognition answer their call. The example of the bird that raised its voice is like that of the prophet whose call is common for all the people, and the example of the eggs placed in different nests is like that of a wisdom and companionship of the chicks of the other birds with the chick of Qudam is like that of the man who accepted the statements of the wise people before the arrival of the prophets. Because Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, has endowed His prophets with such excellence and views that He has not given to anyone else, and gifted them with such effulgence and evidence that He has not given to anyone else. This happens only at the time when He intends to spread the message and sends down the proofs. When the prophets arrive and their call becomes dominant, and some people who had not accepted the statements of the wise also accept them because Almighty Allah has placed a manifest proof in their call. The prince said, you say that whatever the prophets and messenger bring is not from the words of human, and it is only the words of Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, and the words of His angels are also words. The Hakim replied, have you not seen people who, in order to control animals and birds, whistle and produce strange sounds, and the sounds do as they order? They also know that they are not eligible to understand their talks. In the same way, there are people who are incapable of understanding the words of Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, and His angels with all its subtlety and quality. The common people hearken to the call like sounds made for the animals and birds. This sound is in the place of that wisdom which shows that these voices are clear and strong among the common people, and wisdom does not restrain them from understanding it in different occasions, and it also does not stop them from spreading that through which Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, has established His proof on the people. Neither can they encompass it through their intellects, and before this, they learned have attained excellence in their knowledge. Thus, one learned always obtains knowledge from another, till the final point of reference is the being of Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, from whom that knowledge has arrived. In the same way, there are the scholars who gain something from knowledge that saves them from ignorance. But the excellence of every excellence owner is sufficient, like people benefit from the light of the sun, which is necessary for the needs of their life and bodies. But they are not capable to look at the sun with their eyes, which are like the natural eyes, which through apparently its status is that of an executive, but its element is hidden. Thus, people accept what is obtained through its witness and do not reach to its depth. And the example of this eye is like those stars through which people get guidance, but they are not aware of their true position. Thus, whatever I have mentioned, wisdom is loftier and greater than it. It is the key to all the doors of good and a means of deliverance from all evil. It is the elixir of life. One who drinks it never dies. It is such a cure that one who has taken it would never fall ill. It is the straight path that if one takes, he will never go astray. It is the strong rope of God who is never exhausted by giving and bestowing. It saves one from blindness if he takes hold of it. One that caught it became successful and received guidance. The prince said, "The wisdom that you have explained in such a beautiful manner, if it is something that cannot benefit all the people, what is the use of it?" Bilaha replied, "The example, knowledge, and wisdom is like that of a sun which throws its light on all, whether dark or fair, small or big. One who wants to benefit from it does not stop it from reaching him. But one who doesn't like to benefit from the sun is not to blame. Neither does the sun restrain people from this, nor does it act as an obstacle between the people and its benefit. In the same way, is the wisdom which shall remain among the people till the judgment day. Wisdom is common among the people, but people have precedence among each other regarding it. When the sun appears before the seeing eyes, it is divided among three types of people. Those who have the right view gain benefit from it, and his sight becomes stronger. Some of them are blind, hence, even if a number of suns shine upon them, it would not do them any good. There are also some who have weak eyesight that are neither counted as a blind nor those who have correct sight. In the same way is wisdom, which is the sun of the hearts. When it arises, it is also divided into three stages. The first stage is of the people of insight who understand wisdom, and they are counted among the wise, and they also make this act manifest. The second stage is of the blind ones whose heart becomes indolent due to their denial of wisdom. They do not accept wisdom just as the blind cannot see the light of the sun. And the third stage is that of those with a sickened heart who have very little knowledge and whose deeds are very weak, and in their view, the good and the evil and the right and the wrong are all equal. And without any doubt, those upon whom the sun shines the most, it is that same wisdom about which the people are blind.